Question 2 asked, Efren has been keeping data on the Calaveras frog jumping contest for several years. Look carefully at the stem and leaf plot he made for the top 8 jumpers in 2007, shown at the right. What is the minimum value? What is the max value? What is the range? So remember, minimum, that's our lowest value. The nice thing about stem and leaf, they're specific and they're in order. So you just have to look at the first number going from the top left to right. Remember, this number is not 1. This number is 221. So these placeholders in the stem part, these are going to be your tens digits, hundreds digits, however many there are. So your tens place, your hundreds place. If there was another number here, this would be your thousands place. This is just telling you the ones digit here. Okay, so it tells you here 222 on the left with 1 on the right means 221 inches. And that's your minimum right there. So your min is 221. Your max is going to be the last one in the list. If you're going from top to bottom, left to right, it's going to be this, 225 here, 250 here, and then 6 here, 256. Your max is 256. The range is the space between the two, so that's just going to be the highest one minus the lowest one. This is just how you figure out the distance between 2 points or 2 numbers as you subtract the highest from the lowest. 256 minus 221. And again, because this is a test, I want to be accurate, I'm just going to use my calculator here. 35 feet is your range. Make sure you label what it is. I should actually do that for all of these. Feet, feet, and feet. And that's all there is to A. So that's your A right there. B now is asking us, are there any outliers in the data? Explain why or why not. Well, remember, an outlier is anything that sits outside of it, what's typical for the data. So your typical jump over here, we're looking at 221, 222, 225, 228. Then you got some in the 230s, kind of middle and high. You got this 245, and then you got this 256. So you could argue that perhaps the 256 is an outlier. But it's kind of hard to tell on the stem and leaf. The stem and leaf does not do a great job of showing an outlier. So what I might do is do my 220. Let's do 225. I'm going to put this on a number line that we can see a little clearer. We'll do 230, 235, 240, 245, 250, 255. So our 256 will be right there. So we've got 221. I'm going to put it like here. 222 would go here. 225 would go here. 234 would go here. So I'm not really doing a formal dot plot, with a number line and everything. I'm just kind of arranging them in a way that I can see. 238 would be over here. 245 would be over here, and 256 would be over here. So we can certainly say that this last plot is sitting pretty far outside. A better way to tell would be to do a box plot, but we won't do that for this problem. Yeah, I could say 255 is an outlier because it's far from the rest of the points. I also feel like you could argue that it's not an outlier. So really, as long as you can defend your answer, I don't think there's a wrong answer for this one. Though on the test, I may make it more of an outlier than this. The rest of the points. Now C over here is going to ask us, I'll do C down here. Find the mean of the data. Okay, so we're just going to do, let me pull a calculator up. And we can do it together. Again, don't do this by hand. 221 plus 222 plus 225 plus 228 plus 248 plus, 221. This is why you always double check your work. 222 plus 225 plus 228 plus 234 plus 238. Of course, if you know what's going on, please fast forward this point. 245. I'm not doing anything exciting. 256. That's 1,869. So that's all the feet together. Let's distribute them evenly between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. So divide it by 8. And our mean value is going to be 233. What was that? 233.625. 233.625 feet. And that's pretty typical. That's going to put us right about here. That looks kind of in the middle. Oh, I'm sorry, right about here. That's kind of in the middle of the data, I would say, for sure. Finally, let's take a look at D right here. Oh, I'm sorry. I did D right there for you. I skipped C. So let's do, that's D right there. So let's do C over here. I'm sorry about that. Find the median of the data from the stem and leaf plot. Well, we just cross out the lowest. It's not the lowest and it's not the highest. It's not the second. Well, let me actually use my pen for this so you guys can see. It's not this one. 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 Be careful here. Make sure you cross out the next highest. If we're going this way, we're going from high to low. If we're going this way, we're going from low to high. So I'm going to cross out 238. And it's not this one. Because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops, I did that wrong. Yeah, because there are 8 sets, we need to have, or 8 points, we need to have, we're going to end up with 2 in the middle. So again, lowest, highest, lowest, highest, lowest, highest. And that leaves us with this. And you'll know that there's 2 in the middle, not 1, A, because there's an even number, and B, because you want to keep track. You start at the lowest, then highest, then lowest, then highest, then lowest, then highest. Don't go and cross out another lowest until you have them all. So it's between 234 and 228. So we just need to find the middle of that. If I go 234 plus 228, and I divide it by 2, it's going to be, again, calculator, 234 plus 228 is 462 divided by 2. That should be right in between 231. Okay, so 231, there's your median. I'll write it again. Oops. Wrong setting. 231 feet is your median. Okay, so 233 is going to put us around here. 231 is going to put us a little closer to these guys here, but still in this row. And then you want to say which represents more of a typical jump and why. For E, I'm not going to actually take the time to write it out, but I'll explain. To me, I think the median in this case is more typical because if you look, we've got a big concentration of numbers in the 220s right here, 221, 22, 25, 28. This number is closer to where you find most of the numbers. This number isn't that far off from where you find most of the numbers, but because of this outlier here, it's pulled, the mean 233 is being pulled a little bit higher than what's typical. The median right here is going to sit more in the middle. All right, so there's your mean, median, and mode, max and min, and typical patterns. Good luck.